Thank you for joining me. How you doing today?
Thank you, brother. Good, man.
Yeah,
Good.
everything's
Blessed.
everything's
Thank you.
good today on this Friday afternoon.
Yes, sir, brother. Beautiful weather, sun's out. Having a chat with my boy.
Yes, sir. So good. I want to bring you on. Essentially today, I want to speak about everything that you've kind of gone through as an entrepreneur, a business owner. You know, my condo corner. My condo corner is
The Condo Corner.
The condo corner is your business. You guys run, you know, hundreds of real estate throughout the year. You guys won awards last year or this year. What was the award I seen you on the other day?
It was for last year.
It was for last year.
Correct,
And
yeah.
what was that for?
That was, we achieved top 2% in the country.
Top 2%.
Yeah, my partner and I.
And is that total sales? Is that what does that mean?
That's
exactly?
sales and commission. That's commissions.
That's commissions earned?
Commissions earned.
Now is
collective,
that after taxes or is that before taxes?
That is
Like how do they calculate that?
That's before tax. So we're with Royal LePage,
Right.
And within Royal LePage Canada, Royal LePage Corporate, they have a tiered system. So depending on how much income you've collected in that calendar year, depends on what award you win.
Got it.
So we collected
A lot of coins last year, right? So I want to talk to you about, and rightfully so, right? Congratulations, A.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And that's kind of what I wanted to bring you on today about and talk about. You know, how do you get to where you are today? You know, why real estate as your vehicle of driving wealth for yourself and your family, and also, you know, how do you make a living doing this? Let's start. It's a loaded question, so let's start in the first one. When did you join? When did you get your license?
When did I get
first? Well,
licensed?
let's start there.
So I got licensed back in 2007, about 17 years ago.
Yeah.
So February 2024 would be my 17th year. I was young. I was in my early 20s. No formal education.
Right.
So no university or college.
High school at least.
Barely finished high school.
Right.
And I never had it in me to, and I don't want to sound cliche, but I never wanted to work for anybody.
Right.
And with that being said, the worst boss you can possibly have is yourself.
Right, because there's no one to hold you accountable to your actions.
There's no accountability,
right,
exactly. So anyway, I got licensed at 23, and one of the biggest reasons I did get licensed was my uncle at the time was a mortgage broker.
Right.
And I used to do a little bit of admin work for him, a little bit here and there. And that's how I got exposed to the whole real estate world.
Right.
Through mortgages. And
so you're seeing the numbers now. It's coming across your desk. You're like, wait, how is somebody?
Not really the income. No, not really. I mean, there's always this stigma behind real estate agents that, you know, real estate agents make so much money.
Right.
Right. I mean, you don't even have to be in real estate to think that. So
I think it's all the TV shows.
It's all the TV shows. Exactly.
HGTVs, the selling sunsets.
Exactly.
And all those things,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. So anyway, I got my real estate license fairly quickly. I got it in a couple of months when I started doing the exams and whatnot. Obviously, the examination.
It's changed now.
It's completely changed now. Yeah. And when I got it, I was thinking in my head that I was gonna start making $100,000 is always the bench.
First year.
Yeah, immediately.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, next month I'm gonna make $100,000.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. 23 years old, and reality kicked my ass.
Right.
Reality kicked the shit out of me.
So then, to that question, what was your first? You know, you got licensed.
Yeah.
What was your first deal? How long did that take to make that first commission check?
My first commission check, I did within 60 days of me being licensed. I got 2 listings. One was a semi-detached in Mississauga, somewhere I can't remember. And I did a rental at the Marilyn Monroe Towers in Saga.
A rental, got it. So
it was a listing, yeah. So I got my first 2 deals fairly quickly. I hustled for them.
Right.
And then after that, crickets.
It's like, where did the leads come from? It was supposed to be abundance.
There was just complete crickets. Now remember, 2007, internet was prevalent, but not on our phones.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had to dial in.
Exactly.
You had to dial in.
There was no Meta. Meta Meta didn't even exist. Facebook
Right.
barely existed.
Right.
So there was no ads online. Nobody was doing any of that.
Yeah, you had to get your face on a bench.
It was exactly,
Right.
that's what it was.
Right.
And I was broke. So I didn't have any money to put into advertising, and I didn't have that business mindset, but I did have a hustle mindset.
Right.
Like I'm willing to grind and do whatever.
You just got to refine it in a sense.
But exactly, I just didn't know what I was grinding for. I didn't know what I was doing,
Right.
you know? My first year in real estate, man, I ended up earning myself a grand total of $7,000.
Nice. Just enough to pay for your license and your fees
Barely,
and everything else.
barely, man.
Right.
And also, I had mentioned that I got my real estate license fairly quickly. It took me maybe 3-4 months to get my license.
So you understood the concept. You understood the
understood
terminologies and
correct.
whatnot, right?
Now, with that being said, when you get things that come easy, you
Take
don't
it for advantage,
exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You take it for granted. So I would tell myself, I would give myself these benchmarks. You know, so my first year was shit. So now my second year starts, and I would tell myself,
I just need to
okay,
beat $7,000. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Let me get 10.
Exactly. Let
Right.
me get to 10.
Right.
Let me get to 10 in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was thinking so small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I would tell
That kind of goes back to like just kind of the survival mentality, right? Because you don't necessarily know where the next check's coming from, because especially in a real estate kind of environment, it's your next food is the next lead that comes in, the next sale, right? So you eat what you kill, essentially.
Exactly.
Right? So it's tough to say when the next paycheck's coming in.
And with that being said, I didn't even have any leads.
Right. Right. How were
know
you
what I mean?
generating new business for yourself? Like how did that go? So it's year 2 now. You know, last year you made $7,000. You're trying to top 10 grand this year.
Yeah,
At least,
trying to
right?
get to 15.
So low
Yeah.
bar right now.
Yeah.
So fine. What was the plan to attack that?
So what I didn't do, what I should have done my first year is I should have looked for a mentor
Got it.
and shadow somebody and work for
Someone that's already doing it at a high level.
somebody who's doing it at a high level, and somebody that's doing what I want to eventually do.
Right. Living the life you want to live.
Correct. I was fortunate enough to meet with Jazz. I knew Jazz from high school though, from around the way. We all grew up in the same neighborhood.
So let's take a step back, right? So before you even look to, finding mentorship, you're the solo agent working with Roller Page as an independent contractor. You're looking how to generate leads for yourself, essentially how to feed yourself, right? What was that moment where you're like, you know what? I need to at least join forces with something bigger than just
Somebody
myself.
else. So I was, I'm very close with my sister. She's a few years older than I am. And my sister was the one who put the seed in my mind that said, before you quit, talk to Jazz.
Right. Were you about to quit? Were you thinking
yeah.
about it?
Yeah. I would say I would think about quitting almost every day.
Wow.
But realistically, yeah, I would give myself, if I don't do this in 3 months.
And if it doesn't work out, then
I'm done. Yeah,
right.
I'm out.
Right.
So that was constantly on my mind. Quitting was a real thing. I don't like the word quit, but like just stopping.
Yeah, you're gonna kind of take a step back.
Take a step back and do something different.
Yeah. You gotta feed yourself, right?
I gotta feed myself. Right. Yeah, man. So my sister told me reach out to Jazz. I reached out to Jazz.
Well, let's come back to that point. So in the meantime, how are you feeding yourself? Are you kind of a lot of realtors live on that credit card, right?
So I dug a really deep.
Not even realtors. A lot of entrepreneurs live on that credit card.
Average person, you know what I mean?
Right.
I dug myself a hole. So my first, within 36 months of me being licensed, I put myself in almost 100 grand in debt, and this is lines of credit and credit cards.
Right.
Just using one card to pay for a next card.
Yeah, just trying to stay afloat.
Just try to stay afloat.
Paying the minimums and
pay the minimums.
Right.
And I would constantly tell myself that I'm gonna start earning money and pay this all back. So it's not like I was going on. I had nothing to show for it. It's not like I was going on trips or buying clothes or.
You're just swiping.
I was just trying to survive.
Right.
Anyway, my sister told me reach out to Jazz. I reached out to Jazz Takar. He's with Royal LePage Signature. Shout out Jazz. He has his own team, top team in the country. Super proud of Jazz. The guy works super hard. Anyway, she tells me to reach out to Jazz. I talked to Jazz. We were on the phone for maybe an hour.
Yeah.
He tells me to come meet him at the office. and boom, the rest is
This is
history.
at the shops at Don Mills or the
No.
Mississauga office downtown. I know Roller Page Signature has a few offices, right?
This was a man by the name of Simon Giannini,
Right.
rest in peace. This was his office, his brokerage, which is called the Real Estate Center, which was called the Real Estate Center Brokerage.
Yeah, now REC Canada.
Now, so what happened is I first started with Royal LePage, called Royal LePage Credit Valley in Brampton.
Okay.
From Royal LePage Credit Valley in Brampton, I went to the Real Estate Center Brokerage
Yeah, before they were
before they got
Got it.
merged with Royal LePage Signature. So I was with a small boutique brokerage called the Real Estate Center Brokerage. It was ran by a gentleman by the name of Simon Giannini. And I essentially became Simon's shadow, his buyer agent. So Simon took me under his wing, and so did Jazz. They both took me under their wing, and whatever they told me to do, I did.
So you were the guy doing the showings. You were
I
the
was
guy
doing
doing the
the-
open houses. You're
I
the
was
guy.
setting up lock boxes, and
You're the runner at that point.
I was a runner. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And I'm very grateful for that because
1000%.
it taught me so much. Maybe at the time when I was doing certain things, I was like, why the fuck
what the
am I
fuck am I
doing
doing this shit?
Why
Yeah,
are
yeah,
they
yeah,
making-
yeah.
Why are they making me do
Right.
this shit for?
What would you say that's ego? A little bit of ego?
Of course, yeah.
Right.
That was ego, but I still did it.
Yeah.
Knowing that there's a lesson in here
And
somewhere.
it's bigger than you.
Exactly.
Right.
And a lot of the lessons that I learned from Jazz and Simon, I still I understand some of the lessons now till this day.
Right.
15 years later, I'm like, fuck, I did this.
Let me get one of those lessons. What were one of those gems that these great men taught you back in the day that you still hold on to now?
One of the big ones that they taught me is one huge one that Jazz actually put me on to is the law of attraction.
Right.
The secret, the law of attraction.
Yeah. Explain it.
Just
in a
manifesting.
gist.
Just manifesting.
Right,
Just
right.
manifesting.
Just keeping a positive mindset.
Positive mindset. Vision boards.
Right.
Simon
Writing down.
Simon told me make a vision board.
Do you write down your ideas for the year, your
cut and
goals?
paste, man.
Yeah.
I write down, but I also cut. I like cut
Oh, you go
shit
a
out.
step further with the
Yeah,
arts and
yeah,
craft
yeah.
with it.
So when Simon was telling me, "Where's your vision board?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What
What
the fuck
vision
is a
board?
vision board?" He showed me, you gotta go
gotta
buy
plan
some
it out.
magazines and
Yeah.
cut some stuff out. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, "What kind of professional? What the hell is this?
Some Miguel do it.
Yeah, what is this?
Right,
Like I did
right.
this in school, arts and craft. Well, why am I doing it now? I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Still did it, whatever, blah blah blah. And yeah,
But that goes back to show
works,
it's more
man.
it's a habitual thing, right? You have
I
to get
do
into
it
that
till
habit.
now.
Right.
To this day, I still
Right.
do that. You
Right.
know, so believing in yourself.
Got it.
All
right, so let's fast forward, right? So you speak to Jazz for a bit, you think about, you contemplate joining a team. What was the right, why was that the right decision for you at that moment, right? So, you sit down, you have this hour-long conversation, obviously going back and forth on, what you want in your life and how that fits in with an organization, right? So what was this might work. This might be good for me.
Everything I did at that point, within the first 12 months, 18 months of my career, everything I did, it was just all failure.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready to give up. There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Failing and giving up, huge difference. And, excuse me, Jazz and Simon, their energy,
Every day.
their
Every
energy
day.
was sick, and not only that, they're very positive guys. They're not, and I had nothing to lose, man.
At that moment, right?
Yeah.
At that moment, it's like, what the hell?
When I got licensed, when I first got licensed, and if I spoke to them, maybe my thinking would have been different.
You got to get beat up a little bit.
I had to get beat up. Yeah, I had to get beat up a lot. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So when I spoke to them and they didn't sell me anything because I had nothing to offer them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's weird because as sales, they're kind of naturally salespeople anyways, right?
Exactly, yeah. But like, what are they going to bring me on and I'm going to do 100 sales on my own?
Yeah,
Like,
you
that's
can't
not
promise that to anyone, right?
That's not happening.
Yeah.
So it was more like they did me a favor.
1,000%.
You know what I mean?
1,000%.
And I'm
Super grateful.
Again, this is like 16, 17 years later. I still talk about this.
Yeah.
I give Jazz his flowers all the time, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just Simon, if he was alive, I wish he was alive. You could see what,
Right.
you know?
What you become.
Yeah, man.
1,000%.
It's because of him.
Yeah.
If he didn't give me a shot, I wouldn't be here.
All right. So then
know?
you join your team now. You start making some deals. You start shadowing. You start learning on the fly. Obviously, that's the best way to learn sometimes,
Correct,
right?
yes.
Just get thrown into the deep end and figure out if you could swim or not, right? So you're doing something and it's working out for you. Is it working out for you at this moment? Is it is it a slow burn? Is it taking a minute to kind of catch your feet?
Listen, my second year, I tripled my income.
There you go.
I made
So from 7 to 21,
around, yeah,
just about 25.
Yeah, I tripled it. So
Right.
I'm like, I could have got a job at Tim Hortons or something.
Yeah, make
you know
a
what I mean?
19.
Yeah, I could have got a job at Tim Hortons and knew what I was getting paid.
No
and not
knock,
be so
no knock to
stressed.
Tim Hortons.
Yeah, no knock to Tim Hortons. I love
Shout out
Tim
to
Hortons.
all you guys. I love you guys.
Wallahi, yeah, it's the same exactly. But exactly what you said. I did more than I did last year.
Yeah.
So that's what kept me on.
That was it.
That was it. And the reason for my low income wasn't anybody's fault but my own. Right. It's not a fault. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you take ownership, right?
I take exactly. Again, plus I was super young. I don't know how much of an excuse I can use to that.
Right.
But
Life is life.
Life is life. I wasn't in a good headspace,
Right.
and I wasn't. I obviously didn't have the same knowledge that I have now. Okay. And that knowledge is not about real estate or how things work in real estate, blah, blah. I'm not talking about, that's irrelevant. The knowledge I'm talking about is knowledge of self. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Just knowing how to navigate this thing.
Knowing how to navigate your own,
yeah.
your own demons or angels, whatever.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying?
Your own demons, yeah. So my question is to that.
Excuse me.
I've worked with you for a few years. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
I've
worked very close together,
for what, 4 or 5 years maybe. It was a long time, right?
About 5 years, 5-6 years.
And with that, I've again just choosing mentorship and working with others and learning how to kind of navigate this thing called life, right? So I've worked with you guys on the marketing side of your business.
Correct.
Watched you guys kill it out there,
correct,
right?
Yes.
You and your business partner at the time.
Yes.
How did you guys actually develop that ecosystem where you took yourself outside of, because it's a team dynamic, but you kind of branched off and did your own thing for after years, right? How many years were you working closely with the REC team and then transitioning over to your own thing?
I was with REC for about a decade.
Right. So about 10 years or so.
Yeah. About 10 years I was with REC, and I was doing, I didn't have any structure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that is, whenever the phone would ring, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not a set plan every day. What am I doing today?
Exactly. It wasn't really like that. Right. And that was my resale life. That's when I was doing resale. I was doing a lot of resale, not a lot. I was doing resale and a lot of rentals.
You were supporting yourself through resale.
Correct. Resale and rentals. And I was getting bored. I was like getting bored of it. And also,
it wasn't exciting anymore?
It wasn't exciting. And also the just not knowing when the next deal is coming in and blah, blah, blah. That's stress too on its own.
100%.
So
you still got bills every month, family.
I got bills, yeah.
Every month. They don't stop.
Exactly, yeah. So in 2018 is when I pivoted and I was like, you know what? I want to do pre-construction. I want to dabble in, I want to get into the world of
pre-construction. For those that don't know, what is pre-construction?
Pre-construction is properties.
First of all, hold on. Let's do one versus the other. What is resale?
Resale is a property that's already up that you can physically go into and look at.
Got
yes. And pre-construction is buying a property off plan. A floor plan. Property doesn't exist.
Right.
Property is going to exist 3-4 years.
They haven't even dug the hole yet.
They haven't even done anything yet. Correct. So I wanted to start pre-construction. That's a whole niche on its own.
1,000%. Yeah, because you see all these buildings going up every Tuesday.
Exactly.
Like who's actually using these things?
Who's selling this?
Right.
Yeah, who's doing all this? So in 2018 is when I put my foot in the door of that world, of the pre-construction world. And
yeah, I think that was the same year, 2018. That was the same year I joined the team.
That's when you joined
March 20. It was actually my birthday, March 22nd. I got the letter for employment. 2018.
So I started in March of 2018 as well.
Right, there it is.
That's when I started my pre-construction journey.
So we started together.
We started together essentially. And we grew together too. And
1000%.
I watched you fucking grow huge, man. Like from
It's been a journey for
You know what I
myself, right? Which is kind of why we're doing this.
yeah.
Right?
And the journey just begun now, next journey, you know what I mean? So yeah, pre-construction in 2018, and I was working with another agent at the time, and we had great synergy, man. We had great synergy. There's something that Jay-Z says that I love. He says there's no better motivator than broke.
Yeah.
So like that's my mindset.
Nobody wants to go back there.
I'm broke as shit. I don't care what I have in my account. I don't care what's coming in payment. I don't care.
If it's not more than yesterday, it's the same.
I'm broke, man.
Right.
Exactly. So that's how I, ribs touching, like I'm hungry. So that's how I operate. That's how I operated in 2018 and
Throughout your life.
throughout my life, essentially.
right,
exactly.
Right.
But to kick it up another gear, 2018 is when a big shift happened to me.
And then, so how did that work out for you? Obviously, it worked out pretty okay.
It worked out okay.
Pretty okay, right?
I'm still doing my thing. I'm still, growing myself and moving forward. But
so how is that life different than the resale? Like, it sounds like you're still waiting for the next person to kind of, take action and build a deal with you. But how does that different from a resale deal?
From the resale deal? So a resale is a very emotional transaction.
Okay.
And on the scale of narcissist and empath, I'm more towards the empathetic side.
Right.
So what that means is I tend to absorb a lot of people's
took a toll on you a little bit.
Energy. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you're helping somebody purchase the biggest,
one of
thing
the
in their
biggest
life,
investments ever.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
There's a lot of emotions involved, and it's very draining. Sometimes it can be very draining.
How long does a deal usually take? Like around 3 months, 2 months?
Yeah, I would say a purchase and a sale can, from start to finish, could be 3-4 months.
3-4 months. So during those 3-4 months, you're making those showings, you're answering those phone calls, you're shoulder to cry on. It's taxing.
It's taxing, exactly. So, and pre-construction is very it's black and white, it's numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do the numbers make sense?
It's an investment.
Right.
Do the numbers make sense? So that's another big reason why I wanted to get into pre-construction. Also, it's outside of my comfort zone.
Right. Something new?
It was outside of my comfort zone. Yeah. I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know how the sales worked.
So it seems like, when you get bored of something, you kind of look for the new thing. The new challenge, at least.
Exactly. A new challenge. Exactly.
Right.
And
this was a new challenge for you.
it was a huge challenge, man. Like it was a world that I didn't understand anything. I was learning as I went along.
What was your marketing strategy behind that then? So again, finding leads it's half the battle, right? So
Correct.
How did you generate leads?
So majority of the leads that we had generated were online leads.
Right.
So there were pay-per-click Google leads.
Google AdWords.
Google AdWords,
Right.
yeah. So you tell us.
I'm playing stupid today. Come on.
You would put together a landing page,
Yeah.
a single landing page, and we would put it up on Google, and,
and promote.
leads would come in.
You're essentially putting on your promoter hat at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Leads would come in, and at that time...
But that sounds like just half of it, right?
That's
so
that's
generating the lead is one thing, right? You can, put up an ad. Lead comes into your CRM, your software, whatever you're using,
yeah.
right? And then what? Like they're not buying a pair of socks, right?
No, they're not buying a pair of socks. So now, in the world that we worked in the pre-construction world,
yeah, like what's the lens through that? So a lead comes in, you get that endorphin rush, like this could be something.
We got a call. So as soon as we get a lead, we get notified on our phone,
right?
And we need to call that lead within 30 seconds, man.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Or else it's dead.
It's the chances of you getting a hold. The first 48?
Yeah, legit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like that. Like you got to go in quick, like 48 seconds, 50 seconds. You got to be in quick. But also there's other pre-construction real estate agents who are at the top of their game.
Yeah.
And that's who I'm thinking about in my mind. Like, if I don't get to this lead and if I don't build any rapport,
someone else is going to grab it.
It's not even someone else, like one of the other top.
Yeah. And there's only a handful of them.
There's
so
only
you know
a
who it's going to if it's all. Yeah.
And I never looked at anybody who I didn't work directly with as competition.
Right.
Because it's me who's my competition. I would look at them.
Healthy competition, though. Come on.
Sorry?
It's a healthy competition, though. Come on.
Healthy competition,
Right.
absolutely.
You need something to drive you a little bit.
Of course,
right?
yes. And that's what I would think in my head. I'm like, if I'm not calling them, then this guy's gonna call them, and this guy's slick. Like
He's gonna get the deal.
he's gonna get the deal.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Or she.
Or she, yeah,
Right.
exactly. So it was a fun time.
Yeah.
It was super fun time.
What was that first year like when you pivoted over to resale to pre-con?
So before pre-con, I was averaging, in the low six figures.
Right.
Bill 50, something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Comfortable.
Comfortable, yes, exactly.
In the city of Toronto. I don't know. Maybe not. It's kind of comfortable. It's expensive out here.
It's okay. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, if you're making $100,000 a year and you're an entrepreneur, it's not that much.
On your own time, though.
It's not that much.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's not too much. But it's still good. Like, I'm grateful, And then when I got into pre-con, my first year in pre-con, my first 10 months in pre-con, it was like mid six figures.
Yeah. Just double, at least.
Yeah, like triple.
Yeah. Right.
Like
so obviously
more,
that was the one you're gonna stick towards. And I'm guessing it was less stress. Still stressful, but less.
Different type of stress.
Right.
So my mind shifted. I was no longer like it wasn't about money for me at that point.
Yeah, because you already accomplished a little bit. Right.
It was more. I started focusing on deals and not money.
What do you mean by that?
So if you think in your mind, I want to earn $500,000.
Sure.
Right? As a human being, 500,000 is a big number to grasp.
In 12 months, for sure.
It's huge. Telling yourself, I'm going to do $60,000 a month. That's very big to understand. We don't understand that.
Yeah.
So
like how? Right?
Yeah, how? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So I shifted. My shift went from thinking about dollars to deals.
Yeah. Deal count.
Yeah, deal count. So $60,000 or whatever could be equal to 3 to 5 deals. So it's a lot easier to tell yourself, I'm going to do 3
to 5 deals, right?
Versus I'm going to make 50 grand a month.
It kind of removes the barrier from like
exactly. Right. If I tell you, Steve, you're going to do 100 grand a month, you're going to be like, what the fuck? 100,000. But if I tell you, you know what, just do 5 deals.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to grasp 5.
Yeah, you start to figure out, okay, I got 30 days to knock out 5 deals.
You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
a lot easier rather than saying I got 30 days to make 100 bands.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, that's a great way to think about it. I never thought about it that way.
So that when my mind shifted like this.
There you go. That was one. That was one right there. Right?
Yeah. That's what really took me off.
Yeah. So
I stopped
it's a deal count.
It's a deal count.
Right.
And I view deals, it could be a rental, it could be a resale, or it could be a pre-con.
Yeah.
A deal is a deal is a deal.
Yeah.
I don't care I don't care about the money coming in. I care about the deal. Get the deal done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that allowed you to knock them out.
Oh man, like, yeah.
A little more fluid.
Crazy, yeah. My first year in pre-con sales, I think I did about 70 sales, something like that.
So like you have this success, you're making, it seems like every year you're trying to triple yourself, right? So
correct.
triple. You're at the spot now where you're down there making $500,000 a year. How do you now, navigate? Again, you kind of get bored of things if they become too easy, right? So is this becoming an easy thing now? Are you bored of it? Do you get bored of making $500,000? Like,
it's.
Do you get bored of doing 3 deals a month, even if you're thinking about it 5 deal counts? Or do you get bored of that?
The challenge to me now is, can I help somebody else do the same thing that I did?
Right.
That's a new challenge now. You know what I mean? Because I proved it already to myself.
Yeah, you can do it.
I could do it, and I could do it well, and I do it well. I could do it with sleeping.
It's kind of effortless at this point.
Exactly. So my thing now is, can I give what Jazz and Simon gave me
To someone else.
to somebody else?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level of fulfillment to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you could still eat off of that as well. right?
Yeah, of
Of
course. Yeah,
course.
100%. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. That's kind of like goes back to the formula, like the ESPs of the world. Like, is that kind of what you're looking to do moving forward? Like, build a team where you kind of top of funnel, you bring the leads in, and you trickle it off to your team. Is that something you're looking to do?
That's what essentially my partner and I have done now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this allows you to this frees up your time now. What do you do with that time?
No.
No, it's still so it's still demanding.
It's a new so it's it if I'm just doing it by myself,
Yeah.
then I know what it entails. I know how much time I gotta put. Like I know everything.
Yeah, it's
And the
yours.
only person I have to deal with is myself.
Now it's time management of
But
others.
now it's time management and it's a whole new it's not sales. Like I'm not selling anything.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to make the guy next to me believe in himself that he could do
That
it.
he could do 5 deals a month.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's tough. It's not easy to do.
Is
Man.
that not saying whether it's worth your time or not, but is that the best use of your time nowadays?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man.
So what, you have a team, how many do you have on your team so far?
So right now there's my partner and I, and then we have 3 agents.
3 agents, and they're kind of boots on the ground. They're doing the showings if there are any. They're going to
Correct.
the sales offices. They're
They're
checking out
dealing
the
with
floor
incoming
plans, the
leads.
calls,
Exactly.
the leads
Yeah.
coming in where you have to pick it up in 60 seconds.
Correct.
They're dealing
yes.
with that.
Yes, correct.
That side of things, right? And then they get compensated through how you guys structure your
Whatever
deals.
our structure is,
Right.
correct. They
And
get
is everybody
compensated.
kind of on the same structure, or it depends on your experience and what you kind of bring to the table?
Everybody's more or less on the same structure.
Yeah.
But if you know what you're doing, you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
you should eat.
You should exactly
You should
100%.
eat. And then we skipped over it, right? So even before, joining or creating your own company, the Condo Corner, right? You're on a team before it. So what was it? Was this a new challenge for you to even go out and start your own, outfit?
It was a huge.
And why? Why? Hey, that better question. Why? Why did you move on?
It was a huge challenge, man, because what can I say why? I wanted to,
Without giving any details if you don't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
what was your thought process of saying, I'm with a team, I'm doing, I tripled my income last year to this year, I'm making good money, I could support myself, family, kids, any kids yet?
No
kids.
kids.
So it's me in the world, I'm kind of doing my thing, right? So you're making this success. What was your thought process of even going out and now doing your own thing, right? Support, what was it?
I wanted to I wanted to have more control over
What you do?
what I do. I wanted to have that's probably the biggest thing. I wanted to have some more control, and I had a vision of my own of
Yeah.
how I want things to look and how I wanted things to transpire. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things.
And then doing that on your own joining, forces with a partner. What was that thought process?
Respect, brother. Working with somebody alongside you is fantastic. It's
Yeah.
fun. Straight respect.
Respect.
Working with a partner makes things a lot easier, and not only financially does it make it a lot easier.
Just bouncing ideas off
Exactly.
of, right? It's like similar to having a gym partner, right? You can go to the gym by yourself.
Yeah.
But it's a little better if you have a partner.
Exactly.
Right.
A little bit of accountability.
Right.
There's a lot of things mixed in. And then also sharing struggles. Like you mentioned gym. When you're at the gym, you have somebody telling you 1 more, 2 more,
Yeah.
3 more.
Pushing you a little more.
Push it, you know what I mean? Being there to spot you if you fall or whatever. So it's the same thing in business,
Right.
like having somebody next to you, being your cheerleader,
Yeah.
holding you up, making sure you don't hurt yourself.
Calling you on your BS.
Calling you on your BS,
Right.
Just sharing the struggles. So, and my partner, he's my brother. This guy's my brother. We've known each other. We've been friends actually for about 16 years, 16,
Crazy.
17 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
We met. So the same gentleman who I was a buyer agent for, Simon, my partner Anthony was also Simon's buyer agent.
Got it. So you guys are on the same team.
So Anthony and I worked for the same broker,
Right.
and we were mentored by the same broker at the same time.
Yeah. So you guys grew together.
We grew together, And Anthony and I started our career at the same time as well.
Right.
And we didn't know each other. You know, I'm from Rexdale. This guy's from, I don't even know, Markham or something.
Yeah, stars aligned.
Yeah.
Right.
From Markham, Rexdale kid, Markham kid. Like, you know what I mean?
The yin and the yang.
The yin and the yang. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, yeah. So it's been and Anthony and I, excuse me, we never worked together. Meaning we never
Like
shared
on deals.
No, we never really worked together. We worked alongside each other.
Right.
But as actual business partners, that was about 36 months ago.
Yeah.
We joined forces.
Right. And how's that going?
Excuse me. It's
Ups and downs, challenges.
Yeah. It has its challenges. Challenges are good and bad.
Yeah.
The good thing is I know his personality. I understand him after almost 2 decades. You know what I mean?
You get to know, and men are kind of easy to get. Like we get along okay if we get along. If you're cool, you're cool. You know
if you're cool,
I mean?
you're cool. Exactly. The challenges would be splitting your money with somebody.
Leaving money on the table.
Exactly.
It's a lot of money to leave on the table sometimes.
Exactly. And when I say splitting your money, I'm not talking about commissions coming in. I'm just talking about just money in general. You know
Expenses.
what I mean? Expenses.
Marketing expenses and credit cards and all types of shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Vision of, which are we going left? Are we going right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But essentially, I would say it's obviously
Good shit.
The challenges have been more good than difficult.
Yeah. Now, I keep seeing you, you're getting heavy on the social media game now, right? I keep seeing you everywhere, every event you're out here looking good. So what's going on? Like, is that part of your marketing strategy where it's like, let's go out more, let's shake hands, let's meet people?
It is.
Right.
It's social media is the new form of networking.
Right.
I would say. Excuse me. It's opened a lot of doors for me.
Just being out there?
Just being out there, and again, on social media, people reaching out to me that I've never thought I would talk to. And, me going to parties and seeing somebody at a party, but feeling like I already know that person because I've been... Yeah, exactly. I've never seen you in real life, but on social media, we're always, liking pictures or
you're connecting essentially.
Exactly. Right. And I've made friends because of that.
Colleagues,
social
business
media.
partners,
exactly.
Potentially, right? Who knows what comes of it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So social media is, excuse me, it's pivotal and it's vital for what we do.
Yeah. Would you tell somebody, or would you give advice to somebody? Me, I'm a person. I don't really like to go out too much, right? I'm kind of an introvert sometimes, right?
This guy's at every cool party. This guy's at everywhere. But okay, I'll go on.
But I'm with my people when I'm there, right? So I'm not really out mingling much, right? So is this a business for people that are not looking to network much? Can you survive here if you're not looking to do that?
You can. Yeah. You can survive, but like...
Can you thrive?
That's the thing, yeah. Like, what scale of survival do you want? You know what I mean? Do you want $7,000 a year ramen noodles survive, or $20,000 a year ramen noodles survive, or do you want, $20,000 a month survive? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it
depends on who you are and what you're looking to do in life.
Exactly. Right. So networking is definitely key. And that doesn't matter what you do, real estate or not.
Now, when you're networking, right, are you looking at how do you connect? Are you just, follow me on socials? Are you swapping numbers? Like, how do you guys actually get something done after that event?
How do we...
Are you even going into it with that mindset, or you're just going out just to lightly mingle?
Yeah. So...
Are you objective with it? Are you very strategic where you go?
There is strategy, yeah, absolutely, yeah. There's strategy. I'm lucky enough and I'm blessed enough to be in rooms with some of the top producing people in Toronto. Yeah, top producing realtors in Toronto, as well as developers and builders as well. So yeah, there is a level of strategy. With that being said, what I want to accomplish whenever I go out to an event is I just want to get one jewel.
Yeah.
I just want to get one piece of information, one jewel.
That could change the year.
Exactly. Something like when I said, don't think about money, think about deals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A gem.
That's a huge gem. Right?
Yeah.
So, and I learned that from
being
being out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking to somebody who earns $2-3 million a year, I'm like, how the hell? But how do you do it?
And that's kind of why we're doing this, right? Because again, I'm a new agent, right? I just got licensed this year, and I've been in the industry for some time now. Thank you. I've been in the industry for some time now, but more on the marketing side of things, right? So I'm behind the camera, I'm behind the computer. No one sees me in that sense, right? I've done that successfully for the last 5 years, but now I'm on the other side of things, right? I'm trying to figure out, can I navigate this world the way I've navigated the marketing world? Will I be successful in it? You have those doubts and whatnot, right? So it's like, I just want to have those conversations with people that are already doing it, that are kind of like myself as well. And I appreciate you coming down. I want you to leave us with one gem for a person like myself that's a newly licensed or a new investor looking to get into the industry with either an income property or their first-time home buyers incentives that are out there as well. There's so many ways to get in and make a living for yourself. But what would you leave my audience with?
So if you're somebody young and you're looking to get into the business, find a mentor.
Yeah.
Figure out what niche you want to succeed in. So like if we talk about media, there's so many different things in media, right?
Yeah.
Music and podcasts and TV.
Behind the cameras, holding a light, doing
editing,
audio.
What exactly? Right. So find out what niche in real estate sales you want to get into. Find somebody who's doing well in that niche.
Yeah.
And contact them and ask them, can I work with you or for you?
Can I bring you a coffee?
Can I bring you a coffee?
Yeah.
And that person will fast track your success. So if you did it on your own, it might take you 10 years. If you do it with somebody who's showing you what to do, it might take you 24 months.
Right.
So that's one thing. And for somebody who wants to get into ownership of real estate, especially in Toronto, I think or
even in GTA, it doesn't have to.
Whatever.
I feel like
that's
Toronto's
what I mean.
Priced out, right?
When I say Toronto, I meant like Saga, whatever.
You're a native, so you say GTA.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
What I would suggest is partnership, joint ventureship, JV.
Yeah, the easiest way to kind of bridge the gap.
Best, man.
Yeah.
I bought.
Why don't people like to do that? People don't like to put their money together. Why? Is it just like the deal is too big to split? Does it go back to that?
I think that's a stigma. Don't listen to people who say don't do business with your friends, don't do business with your family. That's all BS. I bought now. I invested in a unit with a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
It's my high school homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
put your 40-40 together, you got 80.
I love it. Yeah, man. Like, there's no issues, no nothing.
Yeah. Now, when you get into a joint venture like that, how do you guys structure that? Is it a 5-year play? Is it a 10-year play?
So that's that. So
I know these are contracts, right? So it can go.
Exactly.
You can build it the way you want to build it.
With any relationship, like who's bringing what to the table, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get into a joint ventureship with somebody who like $50,000 is like their whole entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If they lose it, it's a wrap.
Exactly, right. Because then they're going to be stressed out all the time. That's not the type
you the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like you got to be careful with, you know what I mean? Like just like a guy going for a girlfriend, like there's certain criteria, you know what I mean? Like that needs to be checked out.
Play within your field.
Play within your field, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing when we're dealing with money. You don't want to partner up with somebody who doesn't have money.
Yeah, they spent the last 10 years saving up their 50 grand.
Exactly. Or they don't have good money management skills. Yeah. They don't have good credit. So you gotta
know your partner.
You gotta know your partner. And once you're cool with that, like joint ventureship.
Well, then to my question, something like that, you have a joint ventureship right now. Is it a 5-year play? Like, so, how do you guys go about, say minimum. you want to pull out or he wants to sell or XYZ, right? How does that work?
So minimum, it should be 5 years. And it should also.
Why do you say minimum?
5 years is when you see some growth.
Okay.
You'll see some real growth within 5 years. Also, the average mortgage term is between 3 and 5 years.
Got it.
So once your mortgage term is coming up for renewal, that's when you can talk about, should we sell? Yeah. Should we refinance?
That's when you run the numbers.
Exactly. So it coincides with the mortgage term.
Okay.
3 to 5 years.
No, that's a good tidbit. Like, I didn't know that, right? I thought people just kind of,
go with the flow.
But it makes sense to kind of Anchor it to the mortgage.
Anchor
right?
it to the mortgage.
Right.
So let's say 5 years is so our mortgage term is up in 5 years. Let's say let's say I want to exit.
Yeah.
Right? Time to exit. The value of the property has gone up.
It should.
For sure.
Hopefully. Usually.
Yeah, usually.
Right.
It's gonna have
Especially
gone
over
up.
5 years.
Exactly, especially over 5 years. So let's say I want to get out and my partner needs to buy me out for 200K
Yeah.
or 150. I don't know. Just make it say 100K.
Hedge
Making up a number, okay? 20K a year. What my partner can do is when we're going for a new mortgage, we got to get a brand new mortgage.
Right.
They just get 100K more
Right.
and pay me out.
And pay you out.
You know what I mean? Rather than paying out of their own pocket.
Just increase the mortgage.
Increase the mortgage.
Especially if it's an investment property that someone's paying.
Exactly. And
Right.
remember, it's rented out.
Let's rent it out.
The tenants.
So there's
paying.
1,000 ways to skin
There's
this
a
cat.
1,000 ways to,
Right,
you know what I mean? So those are my two.
Those are your two.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end off there, guys. I appreciate you joining us today, my man Imran. Thank you for just even like sitting down with me, man. I appreciate you. You're always a guy I know I can just call, and just shoot the shit with. So
That's success right
just that's success right there, right? Collaboration this year. I appreciate
Respect,
you,
bro.
my man.